Restaurants come and die in America. However, a restaurant that fails in the US may occasionally succeed or nearly go extinct. However, these restaurants used to play a big role in the American cuisine scene. Let us find out more about the American restaurants that experienced a business failure, and there are chances that they might go extinct or come back to popularity. Number 1 is Kenny Rogers Roasters. It's likely true that Kenny Rogers Roasters is more popular now than it was in the 1990s. Kenny Rogers, a country music singer, had an unusual choice to start making money off his name in 1991. While Dolly Parton, his Islands in the Stream partner, had achieved success with a theme park, Kenny Rogers consented to have his image used as the logo for a chain of rotisserie chicken. Former Kentucky Governor John Y. Brown, who built KFC into a significant global company, came up with the concept. Kenny Rogers Roasters was initially doing well. By 1994, the business had 109 sites. Still, there was not always a great deal of appreciation for the chain. A notice complaining about the quality of food was placed on a Kenny Rogers Roasters store in 1996 by a lawyer in New York City. Despite the fact that Aaron Chess Lichman's sign was strategically positioned due to his irritation with the restaurant's bright lights, a judge nevertheless decided in favor of the man. Eventually, the chain broke, and by 1998, Rogers was attempting to pull away. Nathan's unavoidably purchased it, as they did with every chain at this particular time, but the chain's current activities tell the real tale about it. After being acquired by a Malaysian company in 2008, it rapidly increased its footprint in Asia. The franchise was reportedly making $100 million in income by 2011, according to Time magazine, even though many Asian mall patrons were unaware of Kenny Rogers' identity. And it hasn't stopped since then. With the intention of attaining $10 million in revenue and 40 to 50 outlets in India alone by 2021, the chain opened its first branch in India last year. Number 2 is ChuckECheese. Since ChuckECheese was the sole venue for youngsters to celebrate their birthdays in the 1990s and early 2000s, the pizza chain is well remembered among millennials and Gen Z. However, sales declined in the first part of the 2010s as kids became less interested in the animatronic mouse and his band. As a result, COVID lockdowns drove the company into bankruptcy in 2020. It quickly came out of bankruptcy, and even though many of its sites remain closed, it's been gradually drawing in new clients while also winning back existing ones in a discreet manner. Following interest from other businesses to purchase it and restore it to its former splendor, Reuters now reports that it's collaborating with investment firm Goldman Sachs. It is predicted to be $1 billion in value. Private equity firms and similar enterprises like Dave & Buster's are expected to show interest in an auction. Does this imply a comeback to its heyday? The renowned Chuck and his band were removed as part of the makeover, and their place was taken with a dance floor and character video screens. Soon, the entire band will only be available at one restaurant in Northridge, California. The company is renovating every one of its 400 US facilities, and after phasing them out starting in 2017, the last about 30 will be devoid of the animatronic characters. According to sources who spoke with Reuters, CEC Entertainment, the parent company of ChuckECheese, informed acquirers that it anticipates making $195 million in earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, and $1.2 billion in revenue. The sources stated that the company might bring in far over $1 billion in sales based on valuation measures of its competitors. Around 600 ChuckECheese restaurants and more than 120 Peter Piper pizza locations are run by the corporation and its franchisors worldwide. Pascali's Pizza and Wings, a virtual kitchen idea, is owned by it. Number 3 is Applebees. As a neighborhood bar and grill, Applebees claims to have more than 1,000 locations across the globe, so there's probably one in your area. Due to its widespread popularity, the restaurant chain has been featured in films such as Talladega Nights and Couples Retreat. You might be surprised to learn a lot of things about Applebees though. The company is far older than you may imagine, and it's seen numerous changes throughout the years, including name changes and significant acquisitions. In 1980, Bill and TJ Palmer launched the company by launching their first eatery in Atlanta, Georgia. Several sales of the company have occurred since then. In 1983, the couple sold the restaurant concept to W.R. Grace & Company. In 1989, they successfully completed an initial public offering and began offering their stock for sale. Applebee's emphasis on becoming a neighborhood restaurant was one of the factors that made them stand out from other franchise restaurants. The restaurant chain was on the edge of closing since it was facing its own problems. They had a 146% staff turnover rate in 2000, but they've experimented with a number of strategies over the years to lower attrition and raise retention. In actuality, they decreased their turnover by 84% in 2004. These days, the company uses gamification to increase employee retention by allowing workers to receive rewards and points for tasks properly completed. It appears that their efforts to foster a friendly work environment are having an impact. Number 4 is ChuckECheese. ChiChi's, the originator of the chimichanga and fried ice cream, was known for its fiery fare including nachos, salsa, and anything else Americans associated with Tex-Mex cuisine. Max McGee, a former player of the Green Bay Packers, and restaurateur Marno McDermott founded the company, which debuted in 1975 in downtown Minneapolis, an unlikely location for a Mexican restaurant business. The timing was ideal, as Mexican food was the rage among diners at the time. ChiChi's quickly expanded, and by 1986 there were 237 sites. However, a number of unfavorable incidents, coupled with heightened rivalry, meant the chain's demise. By 2002, there were only 144 locations left. In 2003, ChiChi's declared bankruptcy. A month later, poisoned green onions from Mexico that were served at a ChiChi's near Pittsburgh resulted in an outbreak of hepatitis A that affected 636 people and claimed 4 lives. Although there are ChiChi's restaurants in Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and Europe, the American chain never made a comeback. Additionally, Home Alone ChiChi's brand items are still available in supermarkets. ChiChi's rights of exploitation in Europe, North Africa, and Asia are owned by Francis Leroy, who is eager to explore new areas. He already operates 15 restaurants in his home Belgium and 2 in Germany, but his next goals are France and the UK. Number 5 is Burger King. Burger King has increased Whopper sales 7 months after announcing a plan to revitalize its American operations. Although it's still early in the game, Burger King US President Tom Curtis stated that new marketing initiatives and some operational enhancements to restaurants are already increasing sales and customer satisfaction. Before the bell on May 2nd, parent firm Restaurants Brands International is expected to release its first quarter earnings and sales figures for its businesses, which include Burger King US. Due to the early implementation of the turnaround plan, Burger King's same-store sales in the United States increased by 5% during the most recent quarter. In collaboration with its franchisees, Burger King devised a $400 million plan aimed at revitalizing its domestic sales. The plan centers on store renovation and advertising expenditures. Following its announcement of the Reclaim the Flame plan at the September franchisee convention, Burger King focused on implementing an in-store training program for all of its locations. This program trains staff on how to welcome customers, correctly prepare Whoppers, and hand out the company's recognizable crowns. It was the most important thing we did coming out of the convention, according to Curtis. In 45 cities, Burger King also hosted roundtables for general managers. During these roundtables, general managers received training on how to do thorough 5-week cleaning of their restaurants. Restaurant Brands has appointed Patrick Doyle, the former CEO of Domino's Pizza, as executive chair following the announcement of the company's Reclaim the Flame plan. Doyle supervised the chain of pizza restaurants' transition into a digital powerhouse in the dining sector. Before joining Burger King in 2021, Curtis, a former Domino's franchisee, collaborated with Doyle as an operations executive during the course of his lengthy career at Domino's. Which of these American restaurants do you frequently visit? What do you think of these chains falling out of business? Provide your thoughts in the comments area below. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press that bell icon for notifications. Until next time, goodbye.